Having someone say this during Black History Month is something else. Hello guys and welcome back to our channel. Now in today's video, I want us to discuss on a topic that's both frustrating and enlightening. Black History Month, a celebration of the achievements, contributions, and rich history of Black people. But when a Pamkala man is asked about his thoughts on the matter, his response is something else, guys. He claims that Black History Month is art to the cis because there's no Pamkala history, an excuse that people like him always give. He genuinely believes that celebrating Black history is perpetuating division and pushing an agenda on him. Guys, the irony is staggering. But what's even more surprising is the sense of entitlement and lack of self-awareness that comes with his statement. It is a reminder that some people still don't understand the significance of Black History Month and why it's necessary. So in this video, my fellow Black brothers and sisters will be reacting to this man's thoughts, sharing their perspectives, and breaking down why his comments are not only misinformed, but also hurtful. So with that said, let's get started. Here are the videos. I will be right back.
What does that mean to you, Black History Month?
It means that because they don't celebrate White History Month, we don't have it. I'm part Italian. I don't have Italian History Month. So what I think it's doing is perpetuating what this divide is in our nation, quite honestly, because I don't feel like that should be highlighted. I don't think that they should be pushing their agenda on myself because I'm a straight male, I have a wife, and I have children. I don't think that I should have to be bombarded and brainwashed through media, through those months or Pride, Black History. I don't think that's something that should be, dictated to me.
Is it a learning opportunity?
Not at all, because when I was in school, we learned, certain Black leaders, things like that. I don't need to hear it every single year for a whole month.
Asparagus. Okay, so hear me out. Does anybody other than me think that the reason that are like this is because they don't use washcloths and they don't exfoliate in the shower? I can't think of what else to be at this point. Maybe if they sloughed off all them, all those antiquated ideas would float away with it. One can only hope.
The absolute nerve that my algorithm would send it to me during Black History Month is insane. But even more than that, I'm going to show you something real quick. You have a month. I'm so tired of these whistles. I'm so tired of this just say that. Just say that. I am so tired of y'all. I am so tired of you. Don't care about y'all being undereducated or whatever. I don't care. I don't want to hear this. Y'all are so...
Good morning. Black History Month. To him. No, sir. Black History Month is American history. And if America would have taught Black history with all of history, then we would have needed a Black history to be able to show our contributions to this country, as well as the atrocities that were perpetrated against us. It's like everything is so offensive to you when it's pointing out your history of what you've done to us. It's okay for you to want a white history when your history has always been taught. It's crazy to think that you feel some type of perpetrated against you due to information being taught. It's crazy.
Hey, but check this out. This dude is an Italian American, right? And he said it shouldn't be a Black History Month because Black History Month is... In fact, it is. That's your kind and all the European kinds put on Black people. Let me tell y'all something. Everything Black people got, they had to work and fight for it. Because you gotten everything. Still to this day. We have to fight hard for good jobs, equality, and all that. We won't be treated like animals in the street. But that's perfectly fine, y'all. Y'all love it.
We do not care. You thought you hurt somebody's feelings, huh? Go ahead and get your sandwich and celebrate with extra mayo. Put all the raisins in your potato salad all you want. That 3-bean casserole is going to be really good. Raw steaks and raw ground beef sounds very delicious. Have fun celebrating White History Month. Look at me unbothered.
Okay, talking about. But y'all want something like a smoke shop? Y'all want anything like interesting or some of the sort? Like Rellos or some green edibles? Some from the gas station at least. And we might not have a 7-Eleven here. But you know, we got like a Big Red, a Circle K, a Exxon, a Easy Mart, and a few other places. Like, y'all want some pizza or something? Y'all like, y'all want to do like a Grammy watch party at my friend's place or some other sort? Cause that's where I might be at today. Like, what do y'all want? You know, cause I don't know what doesn't also do to the recent events of that annoyance. Yeah, like, do y'all want something before I head out or not? Like, let me know.
Hey TikTokers, it's your girl Dominique. So, what this white man response was to the question is how about 70% of how most white people think. Yes, and I stand on that. About 70%. So the interview asked him a basic question: what is Black History Month to you? And he said because he's white and they don't have a White History Month, and he's Italian, and neither do they have an Italian History Month. Let's be very clear. Black people talking about their accomplishments is just called facts. Because believe it or not, black people have made a major impact on the world today. Even though white people don't want to believe that. But yeah, it's true. And if you think I'm lying, just look at the adventures and what we have invented in this world. Most of the things white people and people in general use in the world, a black person created it. Yes. Google is free. I promise you it is. Look it up. But what bothered me more about this interview was I learned about black leaders in school. Really? Because I can tell you the two black leaders they talk about every year in school. Let's talk about it. So the first black leader they always talk about every year in school is Dr. Martin Luther King. And I respect him. And I respect what he did for the movement for black people's rights. I'm not taking that away from him. But what bothers me when they talk about Dr. Martin Luther King in the school system, they always talk about the I Have a Dream speech. And don't get me wrong, very powerful speech, very impactful. But let's talk about towards the last days of his life, when he said, "My dream has turned into a nightmare." Nobody talks about that. That is like secret. I don't know why. But let's think into it. And do you know why Dr. King said his dream has turned into a nightmare? It's because when they so-called set us free, they set us free and they promised us 4 acres and a mule. Guess what? We didn't get a 4 acres or a mule. Right? So he realized then that we might have been free, but we will always be behind because of the generational wealth white people got from making black people do free labor. And now we are generations behind the wealth due to chattel slavery. But let's dig even deeper. Let's really dig into this. So, let me ask you let me just throw a few names out there. Let me tell you if you know who these people are. So, who is Ida B. Wells? Who is Nat Turner? Who is Thurgood Marshall? Who is Madam C.J. Walker? Who is these people? And if any white person know the answer, please let me know in the comments. Because this white man claimed he learned about black history. So let's see how much you know.
Do you not find it interesting the level of gaslighting that these palm color Americans are doing? Like they are trying to turn things that were created because of their articism into something as articism against them. Like make it make sense. For example, this man here who is talking about Black History Month being art to the deceased, but he fails to realize the reason why black people needed a Black History Week to start with that later became a Black History Month. Now, this happened because black people were being denied their history, being taught in public schools, and being recognized for their contributions to this country. So now having it is now art to the deceased? How? Like, Just make it make sense. Now, the comments made by this palm color man regarding Black History Month are not only misinformed, but also deeply troubling. His assertion that celebrating Black history is arch-racist and divisive just demonstrates a profound lack of understanding about the historical and ongoing struggles faced by Black people. Now, I don't know if it's lack of understanding or these guys just like pretending like they don't know things. Firstly, Black History Month is not about excluding or diminishing the experiences of other racial groups. Rather, it's about acknowledging and honoring the significant contributions and achievements of Black people, which have often been erased or marginalized from mainstream historical narratives. The man's comment that he doesn't have an Italian History Month as a person of Italian descent is a false equivalence. Italian Americans have not faced the same level of systemic racism, oppression, and historical erasure as Black people. In fact, Italian Americans have often been able to assimilate into mainstream palm color American culture, whereas Black people have been consistently marginalized and excluded. And let's not forget that a brother has just shared that these guys do have their own month as well. Moreover, the man's statement that Black History Month is pushing an agenda on him is a classic example of palm color fragility. The refusal to acknowledge and confront the ways in which systemic racism continues to impact Black people's lives. Instead of listening and learning from the experiences of Black people, he's choosing to become defensive and dismissive. I feel it's comments like these that demonstrate why Black History Month is still necessary, because they highlight the ongoing need for education, awareness, and dialogue about the experiences of Black people. Rather than being divisive, Black History Month has the potential to bring people together, foster empathy and understanding, and promote a more inclusive and equitable society. Now, when we look at the history of the Black History Month and how it started, in 1915, in response to the lack of information on the accomplishments of Black people available to the public, historian Carter G. Woodson co-founded the Association for the Study of Black Life and History. Now, in 1926, the group declared the second week of February as Black History Week to recognize the contributions of African Americans to U.S. history. Now, few people studied Black history and it wasn't included in textbooks prior to the creation of Black History Week. Now, this week was chosen because it includes the birthdays of both Frederick Douglass, an abolitionist, someone who wanted to end the practice of enslaving people, and former U.S. President Abraham Lincoln. Now, President Lincoln led the United States during the Civil War, which was primarily fought over the enslavement of Black people in the country. Now, many schools and leaders began recognizing the week after its creation. The week-long event officially became Black History Month in 1976 when U.S. President Gerald Ford extended the recognition to honor the too often neglected accomplishments of Black Americans in every area of endeavor throughout history. Now, Black History Month has been celebrated in the United States every February since. Black History Month was created to focus attention on the contributions of Black Americans to the United States. It honors all Black people from all periods of U.S. history, from the enslaved people first brought over from Africa in the early 17th century to African Americans living in the United States today. Now, among the notable figures often spotlighted during Black History Month are Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who fought for equal rights for Blacks during the 1950s and 60s. Thurgood Marshall, the first African-American justice appointed to the United States Supreme Court in 1967. Mel Johnson, who became the first female African-American astronaut to travel to space in 1992. And Barack Obama, who was elected the first ever African-American president of the United States in 2008. Now, since the first Black History Week in 1926, other countries have joined the United States in celebrating Black people and their contribution to history and culture, including Canada, the United Kingdom, Germany, and the Netherlands. Now, today, Black History Month continues the discussion of Black people and their contributions through activities such as museums, exhibits, and film screenings, and by encouraging the study of achievements by African Americans year-round. Initially, Black History Month was a way of teaching students and young people about Black and African Americans' contributions. Now, such stories had been largely forgotten and were a neglected part of the national narrative. Now it's seen as a celebration of those who've impacted not just the country, but the world with their activism and achievements. In the US, the month-long spotlight during February is an opportunity for people to engage with Black histories, go beyond discussions of racism and slavery, and highlight Black leaders and accomplishments. I don't even know if I should say that it's surprising how these individuals can't seem to grasp the concept of Black History Month. because I just can't understand. They cry foul, claiming it's artistic or divisive simply because it's a celebration of Black culture and achievements. But what's truly revealing here is the underlying sentiment. Why should Black people have something we don't? We need to have everything that they have. Now, this mentality is symptomatic of a broader issue, the desire to co-opt and appropriate Black culture without acknowledging the historical and systemic inequalities that have marginalized Black people. It's okay to erase Black contributions from narratives, but heaven forbid Black people have a day or month to themselves. The hypocrisy is staggering. Palm-colored people want to enjoy the fruits of Black culture, the music, art, fashion, and food, everything, without acknowledging the struggles and injustices that have shaped Black experiences. They want to participate in Black culture practices without being held accountable for the systemic articism that has oppressed Black people for centuries. It's time to call out this insidious behavior. Black History Month isn't about excluding others. It's about acknowledging and honoring the achievements and contributions of Black people. I will say it again. It's about acknowledging and honoring the achievements and contributions of Black people. It's about recognizing the resilience and strength of Black communities in the face of systemic articism and oppression. So we need to be clear here. If you just want to be artistic, then just say that you're artistic and stop making excuses for things that, are very easy to understand. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, our viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts, your views, your contributions as well in the comment section. Thank you for always watching, and see you in our next video as we bring you another video.